Now, a critical day for NASA's mission back to the moon. Artemis II is poised to launch into the history books.
The mission is scheduled to blast off from the Kennedy Space Center as early as 5:24. You're getting a live look at the rocket that will take the four-person crew on a mission around the moon.
We have live team coverage ahead of the liftoff. We begin with Christian Benavides on the Space Coast.
Ron and Cheryl, there's so much excitement here. In fact, I've been watching the countdown clock an hour and 21 minutes until that window opens. Now, I will say that they're currently watching one issue, the flight termination system. They're working on issue with that. They say it's essentially a safety system that allows the rocket to self-destruct in the event that there is some sort of anomaly. So they're watching that, but they haven't scrubbed the launch yet. So if all systems are go, what will happen is just about 6 seconds before the countdown clock hits zero, the solid rocket boosters will go off, and then you have the core section that will go off right when it hits zero, and it'll lift off, marking return to space exploration, a return to going to the moon more than 50 years in the making.
To a wonderful applause from the crowd.
The 3 Americans and 1 Canadian who make up the Artemis II crew said goodbye to their families and boarded their Orion capsule on schedule Wednesday afternoon. The mission will take them a record-breaking 252,000 miles from Earth, a little over 4,000 miles farther than the Apollo 13 crew in 1970.
We're sending that spacecraft farther into space than ever before.
This is the first crewed mission to the moon since 1972. It's planned as a 9.5-day mission, passing the far side of the moon.
If all goes well, the astronauts will see and photograph regions of the moon never seen by human eyes. Retired astronaut Mike Hopkins knows all of the crew.
In these kind of moments, you're just very focused in on what step am I doing right now, and let's make sure I get that one exactly right.
Large crowds started gathering early this morning to get the best view, equipped with telescopes and cameras.
It's pretty monumental, and it's not something that happens every day, so it's incredible.
The mission is part of a long-term plan to send astronauts back to the surface of the moon in 2028 and eventually construct a moon base.
That moon base could be so critical to go even further into space exploration. What is many, many years away, but is a goal, is not just going to the moon, but obviously going even further, potentially to Mars. That is the ultimate goal here. But again, as far as today goes, the countdown clock is still ticking, but they are looking at this issue with the flight termination system. We'll see what happens. Live at Kennedy Space Center. Back to you guys.
Christian, thank you.
Well, crowds will be gathering at Space Center Houston to watch this historic moment, but the real work is happening at Mission Control. Matt Doherty joining us live at the Johnson Space Center.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Ron and Cheryl. Yeah, we're inside the auditorium on the campus of the Johnson Space Center this hour. It's where we can watch a live feed of the launch broadcast, as well as stay closely connected with some of those officials who are inside Mission Control right now. I want to tell you what they're working on at this moment. About 30 minutes ago, we learned there was a help needed with the flight termination system. Apparently, the launch crew is working to get this corrected. We are trying to find out more about what this means and what it could mean to the mission as a whole. In the meantime, the countdown is continuing as scheduled. Now, as you probably heard, Artemis II is considered somewhat of a test mission and the first step toward a permanent moon base in a few years. The mission is expected to last a total of 10 days. First, the space capsule will take 2 orbits around the Earth. After that, it will launch toward the moon. It'll take 4 days to get to the moon, in which the moon's gravitational force will pull the capsule into its orbit. Again, the countdown to the launch window is moving forward as scheduled right now. If everything goes as planned, the soonest this will be able to launch will be at 5:24, that is Central Time. We'll be back with you at 5 o'clock for another update. Back to you.
All right.